Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining me for Yoga in Our City's virtual studio class for chair yoga. My name is Anne, and I'm so glad that you're joining me this evening. Now, please consult a medical practitioner before you begin any exercise program that also includes yoga. And this is especially important if you have any, well, if you're nursing, if you're pregnant, if you're taking any medication at all, or if you have a pre existing condition. And your body and your mind tells you if you have any concerns. So if there's something that pops up in your head or you're worried about something, be sure to consult your medical practitioner. Now, we're going to take a look at supporting healthy mental well being by practicing certain postures, breathing, and meditation, and to ease feelings of anxiety, depression, or sadness. A few little tips, a few little techniques may help during this time. Now, of course, if you have a situation whereby you need to contact your own medical practitioner, that's a totally different entity. Here, we're only using the tools that we have as a support system. Okay. All righty. So let's begin, and we'll begin as we do at each of the sessions. We're going to start in sitting mountain. Now, sitting mountain is our foundational posture. It's a posture that we always come back to when we need to either readjust or we could tell that, oh, something is very uncomfortable. Maybe you're not sitting where your spine is elongated and your chest is open. So you'll get, as you practice yoga more and more, we become more self aware of what's really going on in our mental body, our physical body, and our spiritual. Okay, so let's begin by taking our feet and pressing them on the floor beneath us. And again, like each week, we have the fatty section right under the toes and also on the heels. And that's the part we want to push down into the floor in front of us. Now, in addition, we would like to take the fists, put them together, and we would like a space between the legs. So here we go, right it up. Beautiful. And relax. So far, so good? All righty. Now, moving up the body, we're going to be very aware of our sits bones. Our sits bones ground us. They help us to stay stable and aligned, but also to take our spines and lengthen them. So let's take the fatty part of the right buttocks and push it over, and then the left, push it over, and you can rock back and forth if you like. And you should be able to feel those sits bones. They're the two little bony sections on the buttocks. Okay. Now I'm going to invite you to come to the edge of your chair, but of course, safety is most important. So, depending upon how lengthy your seat is on your chair, will determine how far towards the front of the chair you will go. Definitely, you want a space in between so the body is again lengthened. It's almost like somebody's taking a string, pushing it up towards the ceiling. Now let's move on, and we're going to take our finger and zip up our body. So come right to the top, boop, 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 right there, and lengthen. Now the chin should be parallel to the floor, and when you look at the ceiling meeting the wall, that's the farthest you should go for the alignment of your eyes on that spot. Okay, we call that also the drishti. You may want to focus on the drishti maybe when you're doing breath work, or maybe you just want that as a focal point. Now, sometimes people prefer to have the drishti right on their nose. This may help them, or a few feet away from your feet. Okay, so whatever works for you is what you do. Alrighty, and only you can be the judge of that. Now, when the sits bones are grounded on the chair, you'll notice that your pelvis is beautifully shaped and aligned. So we have 90 degrees, 90 degrees, and 90 degrees. So that's the form of our body on the chair. Okay, now moving on, what we're going to do now is we're going to take our chest and just take the shoulder blades and expand and open our heart chakra or our heart. Expand the chest so the flow of breath can go back and forth evenly. Okay, and this is very important when we look at some of those uncomfortable moments where maybe we do feel anxious, okay, or maybe we feel a little sad. So we will connect with the breath and we'll go through a few different breath techniques that will help you through those times. Okay, especially the breath is, it forms so many beautiful, it gives us so many gifts. It can help us with anxiety, depression. If we're tired, it can help to put us in a more relaxed state so we can sleep, or maybe we need more energy. Okay, now moving up. So the chin, we already went through this, is parallel to the floor. The chest is open. So we also want to take the shoulders, bring them forward up towards the ear. Take those shoulder blades, kiss them together. Beautiful. Now you can feel the beautiful alignment of the body. And now just take a few moments and acknowledge your sitting mountain. And remember, foundational pose. Now, while we're in sitting mountain, let's begin with our intention, or sometimes we hear them called affirmations. And I'd like you to either silently, maybe you have your own affirmation, or sometimes you'll hear it called a mantra. But for my intention this evening, I will give you all, I live protected by the infinite light. And let's say that 3 times. You may say it out loud or whisper it, whatever floats your boat. You can close your eyes or keep them open. I live protected by the infinite light. I live protected by the infinite light. I live protected by the infinite light. And again, you may close your eyes, just let that resonate. Let that resonate into inside your body, inside your organs. I live protected by the infinite light. Okay, and now let's open our eyes, and we're going to begin with the first breath we're going to use is the diaphragmic breathing. Now, this is a relaxing technique whereby we take slow, deep breaths. And this also changes the composition of some of the hormones in our brain. When we slow the breath down and become very aware of it, we will increase the feel good hormones, which are serotonin, dopamine, etc. Okay? So as we relax and we fully breathe, it brings a beautiful, healthy energy or state of balance into our being. Okay, so let's just think of the word balance. And the breath is so very important. Now we're sitting in Sitting Mountain, but you may want to maybe explore the diaphragmic breath when you're lying down getting ready for a nap or getting ready for sleep. Okay, so let's begin. Now, the diaphragmic breathing is a technique where we're going to expand the chest and we're going to inhale through the nose, full breath, and exhale out through the nose. Let's do 10 full breaths. Don't worry about counting. Just think about fullness. So as you inhale, inhale and expand the chest as much as you can. And then when you get to the top of that breath, begin to slowly let go and exhale. Okay? And let's begin. Close your eyes or leave them open. Inhale. Exhale. Get all the breath out on the exhalation. And 9 more, and you do it at your own pace. And if you're done before we're finished with the 10, just sit and relax and allow your being to just be still and be present. No more full breaths. And be still and breathe. Open your eyes if they were closed. And now you may need to realign your body into sitting mountain, and that's fine. Now, the next breath we're going to do is the alternate nostril breath. And we're going to start with the full breath, inhaling and exhaling. Then we're going to start with the left nostril by closing it. And we're going to inhale and then exhale. Okay, and then we're going to switch over. Now, this again is a very calming breath. It also balances the brain, the left and the right side. Okay, and let's begin. Full breath. Exhale. Now inhale. Cover the left nostril. Exhale. Cover the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Cover the left. Exhale through the right. Beautiful balancing breath. Inhale. Exhale. So that's all we're doing is rotating left and right. Inhale left. Close off the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close off the right. Exhale left. Do one more. Inhale left. Close off the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close off the right. Exhale left. Relax. Now breathe normally through both nostrils. I live protected by the infinite light. Now take a breath awareness. How do you feel? Are you calm? Are you balanced? Those breaths are very powerful, very relaxing. Now, the last breath I'm going to show you, actually, it's an energizing breath, but for some people, the bellows breathing or Bhastrika tends to calm them down. So it is stated that if you have high anxiety or you're bipolar, then please do not do this breath. Then you can either practice the diaphragmic breath or you could do the alternate nostril. So the bellows breath, which is one of my favorite, I'm going to come to the edge of the chair and I'm going to take my hands, bring them right out, shoulder length, and I'm going to inhale, stretch the fingers up, inhale, exhale through the nose. And relax. Now, if you feel slightly dizzy, that really means you're doing too many breaths. You may only want to do 5 bellow breaths, and then slowly work your way to 10. And then we'll do 20. So let's do that one more time. So the arms are by the sides of the body. We call this either gold post pose. And then when you inhale, fingers come up. And as you exhale, coming down, you could close them. So and relax. Again, take a pulse. How do you feel? Remember, our breath is our superpower. Very powerful tool that we have to help us during times of whether we have insomnia, when we are trying to sleep, we could practice the breath. Okay, that's a beautiful time to do diaphragmic breathing or maybe alternate nostril breath. Okay, just lying on your back, place your hands on the belly and just begin to relax. So, our breath is our very powerful tool. Okay, now we're going to move into warm ups and we're going to start this evening like we always do. And we're going to do it quite short because I don't want to run out of time. And I do want to show you the asanas or postures for the mental health, okay? For anxiety and for maybe you feel a slight sadness. So let's roll the feet. Again, remember at the bottom of the feet, we have lots of nerve endings. Now be sure the chest is open. We want the heart open. We want the breath flowing. So one of the tools always is to have full breaths. This also helps with our energy levels. It also helps to circulate and to lighten the mind, okay? Our brain, our mind needs oxygen, right? Our lungs, just like all the cells in our body need to be oxygenated, our brain is no different, okay? We have lots of nerves in our brain, in lots of places where we need the definite exchange of CO2 and O2. and we need lots of oxygen up there to stay alert. Okay, beautiful. Now let's take our roller or whatever else you have and bring it to the side. Now, the next warm up we're going to do, which I love, again, one of my favorites, called Open Your Heart. And I'm going to combine a posture in an asana with opening your heart with the breath, okay? So we're going to move the spine like this, forward and then back, almost like we're doing a cat-cow, okay? But now we're going to engage the opening of the heart. So I'm going to hands in front and back. You may want to do a ha breath for this. Now, if it's difficult to come forward for you, or you have shoulder problems, whatever, you can just move the spine forward and back, okay? Because you may be on level 1. Maybe you can't move the shoulders, okay? But if you can, extend forward and ha. Ha. We'll do the ha breath 10 times. Ha. Open the heart. Ha. 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 The oxygen is flowing through the whole body. One more time. Now, bring the shoulder blades back. Kiss the shoulder blades together. Take those feet and ground them into the mat in front. And ask yourself and be aware, how do I feel? Breathe fully, allowing all the breath to fully expand in the lungs and then contract. Now, the next posture will be a spinal twist, but it's going to be a little bit different. So what we're going to do is inhale, bring the right hand to the left shoulder and just slightly turn, and exhale, and then the opposite. So you're going to tap. So again, mind the breath. So now we're moving the spine side to side. We did front to back. Now we want the spine, which again is such an important part of our being. We want our spine to be lengthened. We don't want to be hunched over because that compresses, as you probably can visualize, the lungs. This touch is wonderful. So you can feel the touch on the arms or wherever else it is. Now, maybe that's too much for you, so maybe you're just going to touch the chest like this. Now, sometimes people find that when they sing, okay, or singing helps to relax them. It helps also to increase the oxygen. So if you'd like, you can sing a little song, or we can do la, 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 la. And the reverberation of the throat really begins to empower the full being, okay? You probably feel that. So when you sing or you hum, whatever it is, it does something to the brain. It increases all the good hormones, okay? So we won't get in the chanting and that aspect this evening, but just so you know, okay? We will eventually. Now, the next step will be, so far we have the spinal twist. We have the spine, which we moved forward like the cat-cow, Okay, that's another beautiful posture. And then the spinal twist, but we used the hands touching, right? Now we need to do circular motions with the spine. Oh, yes. And feel the sit, not the sits bones, but the sits bones you can definitely feel on your chair, but also the hip bones. We're lubricating the hips, okay? And back around the opposite. Beautiful. Those also are beautiful postures to help with anxiety and sadness or depression. Our well being, our mental health, very important. Come back to center and just come back into sitting mountain. Be aware of the body and space, chest open. And now we're going to move forward, and I'm going to do, it's called a downward facing dog. And for the downward facing dog, we can just simply inhale if you're on level 1, and then just calm down so the head is so far down. Now you may be on level 2, so maybe you can come a little farther down. Use the breath. Or maybe you're on level 3 and you can come all the way down and bring those fingers right down to the toes of the feet. And then slowly come up. You may want to stretch the arms, level 1, level 2, or level 3. And then come back again. We'll do downward facing dog 3 times. Whichever level you're at, that's what you do. Self-care, self-love. There's no contest in yoga. It's all internally oriented. It's your organs, your breath, your body. And wherever you are at is where you're at. And as you practice on a daily basis, you'll be shocked or surprised at how you can move the body in new ways that you didn't think possible. Maybe it takes 30 days moving every day, okay, into the asanas. Now, the next one will be called upward facing dog. So now we're going to inhale and we're going to stretch up. So we're opening the chest, bring the spine, and back down. And again, inhale. You may be at level 2. Really stretch back as far as you can. Keep the chin, though, tucked into the chest, protecting the neck. And the last one, inhale, stretch up. Beautiful, and relax. The last asana I'm going to show you, it's called easy pose. And that's very much like if you were sitting and going to do breath work on your chair, and or maybe you were doing meditation. So easy pose, I am going to put myself farther back on the chair. My spine is against the chair, and this is easy pose. And you simply can close your eyes and breathe. My palms are facing up to the ceiling. I'm closing my eyes and I'm breathing in easy pose. Let's take 3 full breaths. This is activating your parasympathetic nervous system so you are relaxed. The parasympathetic is the relaxing part of our nervous system versus the sympathetic, which when we feel anxious or anxiety, we're breathing at the top of the chest. That's our sympathetic. And they're both very important, but we have to balance them. And the sympathetic is used for basically protection, right? Or fight and flight, as they call it, right? So you're faced with a lion, let's say. What are you going to do? Ooh, sympathetic nervous system. You're probably going to run, but I don't know if that's a great idea either. But maybe run to the safety of your car or your house or whatever. Okay. Anyhow, we don't even want to think about that because that may make us more anxious. Okay. And the last posture asana would be, which you may be surprised, but it's the corpse pose or savasana. When you lie down, okay, like when you're in bed at nighttime, or like even right now, I'm going to open up palms of my hand. Let's say I'm lying down. The Savasana is a very relaxing pose, breathing deeply, closing the eyes. That helps tremendously when we're trying to relax the whole body, especially if we feel anxious. So we've learned this evening connecting to the breath, doing those breaths, okay, whichever works for you, because different days you're going to feel differently. So that full diaphragmatic breath, or you can do alternate nostril, the left side being the relaxing side, and of course the right is more stimulating. But with the alternate nostril, if you really want to relax, you may just want to breathe, inhale and exhale out of the left. But you also may want to be in balance, so you may do both sides, okay? And the bellows or Bhastrika is relaxing as long as you don't have the bipolar issue or, deep, deep depression, whatever. Okay. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend it because the bellows Bhastrika is usually an energizing breath. But for some people, it works as more of a relaxing breath. All righty. So that was our practice this evening. And I'd like to end this evening by all of you just coming forward and wherever you're at, level 1, level 2, or level 3, bring the palms of the hands together, stretch the fingers up to the ceiling. Take 3 nice full breaths. And then very slowly and mindfully, the third, stretch the fingers up, 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 elongating the spine, and as slowly as you can and mindfully exhale, bringing the palms together and bring it right to the heart. And let's say our intention again, I live protected by the infinite light. So thank you everyone for joining me this evening. And remember, all week, try to practice on a daily basis, and you'll feel the beautiful gifts that our breath and the stretching does for our body, our mind, and our spirit. And I also want to announce that starting next week, we're back to the regular schedule, which means we'll start at 5:30, and of course, I'll post it on the site, and we'll end at 6. So signing off, thank you everyone for joining me, and I wish you a wonderful, wonderful week.